Hey guys, welcome back to another crypto video, and today I have a few important things to discuss about Cardano ADA. So the last couple of days I've been making a lot of videos on Cardano, and I've also been showing you guys the more negative sides of ADA. So today I want to really give you guys a good overview of my opinion on the coin, why I hold so much Cardano, why I think it is a good project, also why I'll keep buying more, why I think it is my best long-term coin, things like that. I'm going to give you guys some insights today, followed up by some news, some price predictions, some other stuff, and let's get into it. Before we actually get into that though, make sure you understand that this is fully my opinion. This is by no means financial advice. I'm not affiliated with Cardano Foundation, with ADA, IOHK, Emergo, none of that. This is just my pure opinion. I do not have any financial gain if you invest into Cardano, so don't do it for me or anything like that. This is just for entertainment purposes only. All right, so having said that, let's get into the content. I've been reading through you guys' comments on my previous video where I discussed the bad sides and the good sides about Cardano and then made up quite a good opinion. If you have not checked this video out, I recommend checking it out right now to just know what I'm talking about. So in here, we went mostly over this part below here. Why will Cardano succeed and why will they fail? And what I brought into attention for some of you guys is that the reason they will succeed is just way clearer and way more broad than the reason for them to fail. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about here, make sure you check this video out first so you know what the reasons to succeed and to fail are. A little bit of a recap here. Why they will succeed is because their team and their way of doing things, their philosophy, is just fantastic. They're unique and they're going for a sector, like you can see in the comment section below in a second here, that is just quite, so relatively, untouched, but also just so very, very important. Another thing they will succeed because they're doing it as I just said, with their philosophy for the educated approach, with a fantastic team, a fantastic plan, and slow but steady going for the top. They're trying to fix a lot of the issues that Ethereum had or that some of these other projects have by mixing proof of stake and proof of work into their Ouroboros ultimate proof of stake. Just amazing. Why will it fail? Because this slow and steady approach could actually backroll. It is a possibility because they're really slow at everything. It could be that with the time they're done, which is going to take a long time, it could be that some of these other coins which are going for the fast, quick money have already succeeded with a crazy breakthrough, crazy adoption, leaving ADA kind of in the back for the enthusiasts, but not really for the masses because some of these hypier coins. All right, so that's a little bit of a summary of our previous video for if you really did not want to watch it yourself. And when I watched that, I checked through the comment section now here like an hour ago and also a second ago when I was replying. That's also already like 20 minutes ago, but okay. And some of the people were saying, I think it's important to have a, so this is Carlos Contreras who said, I think it's important to have a discussion about the good things that ADA is doing, but also where it falls short. Personally, I was very surprised that the summit ended up being what it was. Also, I think we should focus not on the price, or not focus on the price. If it's a good project, just hold. But if you're worried about the price, know it's going to go down until they offer some good news. And the general idea of what he's saying is actually really good. With any coin that we're investing in, you should know the good and the bad sides, and that's what I'm really trying to put some focus on today and from now on further a lot more. So you guys are just really knowledge, or how do you say that? Just really know a lot about the investments that you're having. And what he's also saying here is we should not focus on price. That nowhere in Cardano's philosophy do they say we're going to become a crazy bulk of a coin in terms of price, or we're going to appreciate in value, things like that. They don't really state that. The only thing that Charles Hoskinson, the CEO, has said was we're going to be the first $1 trillion cryptocurrency, and there's still a lot of potential for that. But don't worry too much about the price in the long term or in the short term here. Some of you guys are way too focused on that, and it's hurting your gains for the long term. This is all psychological warfare, and you should just go with the idea that all these prices are going to go down until something crazy happens. If you think like that, there's two things you can do. Either you can trade the coin on the shorter term, you can just maybe scalp it a little bit, you're going to buy back cheaper every percentage, you're going to buy way down. Or you're just going to hold through it all because in the longer term, it doesn't matter. You can see it from both sides, whatever you guys want. Another comment that I saw that was very important was, when others are greedy, be fearful, and when others are fearful, be greedy. With all the FUD going around, be a predator with ADA coins. And this comment on its own by Power to Achieve made me snap, made me switch. I was like, man, I ain't selling these coins. What am I talking about here? Buying them back at a later point? What if it goes wrong? What if the coin just keeps appreciating in value? I'm going to be here without any ADA, right? I don't want that. I think as a long-term project, all these small fluctuations of 5%, 4% here, they don't matter for the long term, so screw it. I don't care too much. I'm just going to sit here holding tightly, following the news, and if I see some crazy-ass news, I'm going to buy a lot more, but I'm not going to be selling every day, day in, day out, unless I'm doing it very consciously, looking at all the trends, looking at the TA, following my own personal trading strategy, and not going away from it. So not looking at news then, or at least not on the BS news, like only on the major news shifts, but then also calculating BTC and just with my normal trading flow, but not just what some people are doing here. And then the last comment that I thought was really important was this one. Cardano is going to be used as a currency in Ethiopia, Rwanda, and Uganda. That is real utility. And that, my ladies and gentlemen and others, is where really Cardano steps in hard. That is because in Africa specifically, which of these other cryptos are moving as hard in governments as Cardano is? Name one, because I don't know. The only one I know is that Dash is doing their hell of a job in Venezuela, right? Because of the hyperinflation from a while back. And that Cardano is working with all of these governments in Africa. Like ETN as an example is going for third world countries, but they're not making that much progress. With Cardano here, they're having crazy progress already. And with them, with Charles Hoskinson at the top and with a project that's this huge, you know that they don't mess around. They're trying to better this world, and they're doing a hell of a good job at it. And this is like the realest form of utility you can get. And that just made me snap again. I was like, man, how could I ever not hold this coin? How can I not support this project? It all made sense to me. I'm sorry, guys, but it all made sense to me. Cardano ADA, and here's another article. Are concerns legit, or is it a case of unrealistic expectations? Right, and this is again where I want to put some emphasis on. You should not have some crazy expectations. For Shelly, we were so positive of it coming in, and we were like, what's going to happen when Shelly gets the little sprinkle of starting, or how would you say that, like that when Shelly was going to roll in, the price is going to go crazy, things like that. But over the last couple of weeks here, I've noticed like that's not the things we should focus on here. Not these short-term small little gains. Cardano is meant for the longer term, meant to conquer this world with crazy adoption. Right? That's at least what I'm thinking here. Crazy adoption, crazy progress, and really bettering this world. All these small fluctuations like the start of Shelly, which is a huge thing on its own, yes, but it's a process, and all of the updates that Cardano is bringing out are all processes. And most of the things that are giving us news about is not just something that snaps within a day and it's just done, over. These things take time to roll in. As we just said before, they're taking the slow yet steady approach. Whenever they roll in a new phase, whenever they roll in a new thing, it takes time to come into place. It's not a thing that happens overnight. And that is a thing where they are just, wow, I just cannot imagine. They're just superior, just insanely good, because they want to make sure that these things function well. They don't want to rush anything, and that is just, again, that's amazing. Are concerns legit, right? The reason for that being is that the coin is going down a little bit. The roadmap was a little bit of a letdown, even though there's still more to come on that. The Shelly initiation, in between brackets, between quotes, has not been that good. And the moderators are deleting posts of people asking things. People are panicking. People are fudding the hell out of the project. But do you see me worried? Hell no. I ain't worried for nothing. I ain't worried a little tiny weeny bit, because I know that my investment is good for the long term. Maybe short term these things matter. Maybe some people, 1.1% of the people, like the one of the 90, might lose faith. Do I give a shit though about that 1% or 2% maybe? Nah. I don't care. Because why would I? Why should I? There's no reason to, and I won't. The only thing I care about is if they keep progressing on like they are, and if nothing crazy messes up, if you get me. So if they don't just make a certain left turn where they should have really turned right, obviously, to everybody. But as long as they're not doing anything like that, and they can always recover, then everything's going to be good. And as long as they don't stall things by just too much, they're stalling things, but it's just nice. If they don't stall it too much, we'll also be golden in that. That said, Cardano is still a strong crypto hold for your crypto portfolio as long as they can deliver Shelly this year. Then it has a real chance of success. This project has so much going on that it is unlikely to fail. Besides, Charles Hoskinson has a good reputation and would not try to risk it by failing to deliver on the Cardano roadmap. Shelly and roadmap, two things people are totally afraid for. And again, people are calling this roadmap quote-unquote shitty already on subreddits because they're not giving anything out on it yet. People are saying, oh, they're trying to delay it again, even though that's not really the case. People are saying that Shelly is a failure because everything is being delayed about it. My head just hurts from reading all those things. And that's again what the person in my comment section was quoting again, that when others are greedy, be fearful. You should be. But in case of other people being fearful, be greedy. Make sure you just know what you're doing here. Stay on the watch because these people are in fear, right? You can see the price going down, but make sure you know what you're doing with your coins. Don't just sell everything and stay out because you're scared. Know your investment. Know the value. Calculate it day upon day. But stay strong. Cardano price hits a roadblock as value drops below 8 cents. 8 cents was considered a good support, right? We fell below it. We're going to fall lower. We just established that previous episode. It did. But again, we just also concluded that this is a longer term hold. So why would you care that much? Why would you care that much? I just don't know, right? And if I'm just looking on the subreddit, actually, this is not specifically it, but there's multiple subreddits that are just being totally insanely negative about ADA because of them breaking support. And even some TA guys that I talked to earlier today, they're crazy bearish on ADA. But I'm like, I talked to the guy, right? There's one person specifically who I talked to. I was like, okay, so what if Cardano were to go down 10% right now? Would you think that it could not make it to the top at the end of, let's say, 4 years? And he said, no, this probably has nothing to do with that. And I said, all right, if it goes down 25% right now, do you think that in 5 years that will have a great effect? He's like, yeah, most likely not that much because it will most likely correct itself again within a few weeks or days. I was like, okay, what if it were to fall down another 50%, right? Just a crazy amount. If we were to go to 4 cents right now, do you think the Cardano project is doomed then? He said it depends on what the rest of the market does, but I would assume that if BTC goes down a little bit, which is most likely the reason that Cardano is going to fall that much, then no, because that would just mean another bearish wave is in and it will just correct itself again. And in the longer term, so let's say 5 years, that does not matter for shit. And I just shook his hand. I was like, there you go, buddy. All these small price fluctuations, they don't matter too much for the longer result because I think this coin is going to make it in the long term. It's my most solid project for longer term growth. And it's like, maybe it's a retirement thing. I don't know yet. But Cardano African Vision and staking news. I want to give you guys another update on staking later on, but I'm not there yet. I will. This is another good video to check out. Cardano staking is coming. Enterprise Vision, crypto in Africa, and much more. Because I think the African vision, or anything they're doing with Africa, is just saluted. I just can stand up right now and shake any of these guys' hands of them thinking about this, man. I just really want to stand up right now, go to one of them and shake their hands. Anything you do with Africa is close to my heart because so many of these projects are not giving any attention to it whatsoever. And again, very good job from the crypto lark here. Just have to applaud him on this one as well. Amazing video. I recommend you guys all to check it out. Even though I normally don't really give people shout outs in these videos, it's just an amazing piece of work. But I would also maybe say that is because I'm so enthusiastic about Cardano that this actually is the case. But I've covered for you guys like 50, maybe more times that Cardano is focused on Africa. They're working with the governments, but you just need to get in the back of your head that this is a coin that cares about you. This is a coin that cares about our world. Like some of the other coins, they don't care about you, me, or any of the environment or things like that. They don't care about any of those important things which crypto should care about decentralization aspects. And right now, specifically, the Shelley phase really that's rolling in here, it's focusing solely on decentralization, right? Solely, I should not say, but mostly. Is that not what a lot of these governments need as well, right? To just have a project that focuses on making processes easier and more for the people? Like, is that not good for governments to have some faith in a coin? Even though you could be saying that decentralization and governments not go along together, but that's not the case. They do go very well hand in hand in certain aspects, but let's not discuss that too much right now. What is also important is ADA coin experiencing trouble in paradise? I just saw another article like this. Oh, man. You can see the FUD. You can see what I'm trying to say here. Deceptive communications from IOHK. No new roadmap. Big announcement was an enterprise product. Are you serious? Cardano 2020 Vision Roadmap Update. Where is it? The summit is over. Was the summit a strategic money grab? Censorship going on. Yeah. Fuddy. Yes. Whatever, guys. We're just going to ignore all of this. Doesn't matter for longer term. They're slow. That's all I'm putting it at. Whenever they don't deliver within a few months here, let's talk. But right now, it's all good. I'm still not worried. I'm all fine. Cardano price prediction long-term value. I don't care. These articles never write. So do I care for long-term value? No. Short-term, I listen to all these articles. I check what their analysis is. But this is long-term on a still shorter-term basis. So this is actually not long-term. It's like medium. Demand zone is between 5 and 1. So like all the way down here, 5 to 1 cents. Check for all these marks specifically though. Whatever breaches 5 will quickly go down to 3. Whatever breaches 3, quickly go down to 1. And above 12 will easily go to 14 and then easily in turn to 16 and so forth and so on. And yeah, again, don't attach too much value to this. It is all looking very bearish, but it still depends on so many factors for Cardano. And then one article again, which I just had to quickly mention again, was Cardano ADA founder Charles Hoskinson, perfect operability just a decade away. Don't think about short-term, guys. Think about the longer term and make sure that you actually do your diligence before you create all this FUD. I have so many videos here explaining why interoperability is so important, why decentralization is so important, and why Cardano is here to change thins. This is a just amazing article here explaining the Cardano 2020 vision, some other cool things. I recommend you guys to check it out. But that's all the time I want to spend on Cardano today. Another little 20 minutes here, and I think this should give you a good idea of why I keep holding this coin, why I can't touch the sell button on it. But yeah, hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Make sure you enjoy your day, have a nice one, and check out all the links in the description below. Enjoy it, everybody.